Hello and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I wanted to cover a video I submitted to the Moto channels, UK Motor Clips, Motor Madness, all the other motos that are on there. What I wasn't expecting was the amount of hate I was getting from it. You know, people coming to the channel, you know, Dom, you're wrong, you're a twat, you know, this and that, and it was like, oh, okay, you know, but at the end of the day, it's the internet, you got to expect these kind of things. And the whole reason I set up this channel was to help me on my biking journey to grow and be a better, safer rider, and also to pass that on to, you know, anybody else. If I can help somebody overcome a fear or just better themselves, then that's exactly what I'm trying to do. And if I mess up and I caught it on film, then I'm going to upload it and I'm going to hopefully save you from making the same mistake. So justified or not, it made me look back over the video, see where I'm wrong. And how I came to this was obviously in the comments section. I had people coming back at me, and I just wanted to put my point across to justify why I handled the situation the way I handled it, and what I call my risk assessment. And that's what I wanted to delve into on this video today. Is I surprised myself when I was starting to type just how much information and detail you actually process in a nanosecond when you're on a bike. Far more than on a car. And bearing in mind, I've been driving 20 years, done a lot of advanced driving courses, etc. And I still to this level don't plan my risk assessment like I do on the bike. And I don't retain as much information and process it as quickly. And I'm not sure if that's a freedom thing on the bike, as in so much more visibility, heightened sense of exposure and risk, but it did surprise me about how much information I retained. So let's replay the clip and go through obviously the perspective you might see, and then from my perspective.
Really great service, great bloke. That was nice of you to pull out when you saw me overtaking you.
Okay, now to see this from my perspective. Before I've even considered this overtake, I have noted this car here on the right that's pulled into a lay-by. And it wasn't until he was stationary for at least a couple of seconds that I deemed it was safe to pull out and overtake the car in front. Worth noting, this car in front is a biker-friendly car, because if you look at the distance he's given me, I can actually overtake him within my white line. However, I never deem that safe and always want to give myself some extra room, so do always pull out onto the other side of the road. So you could say you've already identified a hazard, so why are you attempting the overtake? Well, I'm not on an IAM course. I'm riding to the road conditions. I know the road quite well, and if I don't overtake now, I've got solid white lines ahead of me and I'm going to be stuck behind this car for quite some time. A lot of people pointing out that I've blurred out my speedo. If you want to talk about relative speed to road conditions, we can do that in the comments, but that's a very long and arduous subject. So my risk assessment says go for it. So I pull right out here to make myself visible to both the car and also the dude in the lay-by here, so we can clearly see I am overtaking. I'm now just about overtaking the car, and at this point you can see he's just started to move out. Now I was aware this could happen, and it has, so now I have to adjust my risk assessment. So I have three options now. One, I can roll off the accelerator, ease on the brake, look in my mirror, perform a lifesaver, pull back in behind the Fiesta. Too many steps in this process for me. Option 2, which is ultimately the one I went for, give it a little bit more gas and get in before the guy pulls out of the lay-by. Or option 3, I could just ease over and lane split, as there's clearly enough room, but I don't like doing this. The fact I have to adjust my risk assessment on the fly proves that the decision to overtake was incorrect. Now, you could argue that the dude in the lay-by has to check in front of him before he pulls out, and he would clearly see me, and all he has to do is wait. But as we know, entrusting our lives into other people is definitely something we shouldn't do.
That was nice of you to pull out when you saw me overtaking you.
Yeah, okay, I shouldn't have called him names, but at the end of the day, he won't be able to hear it. I wasn't waving my hands at him. I didn't spin the bike around and go after him. It was just a comment, a little bit of venting. At the end of the day, I saw that this could happen, and it happened. So how can I be mad at the guy for doing what I thought he would do? So there you have it, a nice little Dan the Fireman breakdown for you of I'm not going to say near miss, because it, in my opinion, wasn't anywhere near it. The footage maybe makes it look a bit more dramatic than it is, but an analysis breakdown nonetheless on a decision I made that could go either way. Hope it was useful for people to delve into my silly little mind. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful.